Hello year 4, how are you all? I hope that you are all fine today. Today we are going to have spelling, so I want you to get ready with your Nelson spelling book, Pupils Book 4, and let's start. Today we are going to have Unit 18, page 40, so I want you to get ready with your books and open page 40. We are still talking about the topic of prefixes. We have taken a lot of prefixes this term, okay? And here we have some more prefixes. And as I told you before, we have two types of prefixes. One of them are called the attached prefixes that we cannot separate from the root word. And the other type of prefixes is the detached prefixes that we can separate from the root word, okay? So here in Unit 18, we are going to study 4 different new prefixes. The first one is a at the beginning of the word. Okay, what do we mean by a? It means on or in the state of. And then we have al, which is supposed to be all, but when we put all as a prefix at the beginning, we drop one L. Okay, so it's all. And then we have add, which means forwards. Add, which means forward or moving forward. And then we have af, which means tending forwards. Okay? Okay, so let's start by discussing the picture at the top of the page. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the word ablaze, ablaze, ablaze. So ablaze means when something is on fire. And here we have two different types of boats. We have the green boat and we have the red boat. As you can see that the green boat is floating, so we are going to use the word afloat. And the word afloat means that the boat is floating. When we look at the other boat, the red one, we're going to find that this one is aground. Aground. What do we mean by the word aground? It means that it touches the ground. And we use it with ships and boats. And when we look at the two men here, we can find that these two men are asleep. Asleep, which means that they are in the state of sleeping. Okay, so we have ablaze, which means on fire, afloat, which means floating, asleep, which means in the state of sleeping, aground, which means that the ship or the boat is touching the ground. Okay, so as we do every time, we begin with the keywords. We study the keywords, and of course your homework is to put each word of these words in a meaningful sentence that shows its meaning. Okay, fine. So let's start by reading and discussing the words here. And as you can see, we have 4 groups of words for each one of these prefixes. But before we start, let me remind you, what do we mean by the word prefix? What do we mean by the word prefix? A prefix is a group of letters at the beginning of a word. So the prefix is group of words at the beginning of each word. Okay? Okay, so let's start by reading the first group of words with the prefix a at the beginning. So we have blaze, and when we put a, it would be a blaze. What do we mean by the word ablaze? It means that something is burning fiercely or on fire. Something that is burning fiercely or on fire. The second one, afloat. Float and afloat. So, yes, of course, it's like the same one up. It means that something is very good, floating, floating. Asleep, asleep, like the two men up in the picture. So these two men are in the state of, very good, sleeping. And when we look at the boat, the red one, we're going to find that this boat is aground. So ground, aground. So what do you mean by the word aground? It means that, yes, of course, we're talking about the boat. It means that it touches the ground. So it's of a ship or a boat, of course, and it means that touching the ground. We use it with ships and boats. Okay, so let's go to the second group of words here. The second group of words that this group of words, this group, each one of these words begin with the prefix all. But here we have to remember something that is very important before discussing this second group of words. We have to learn that when we use all as a prefix, we always drop one L. We always drop one L. And let me highlight this for you. So we always highlight one L. Sorry, we always drop one L. I want all of you to highlight this sentence. So whenever we use all as a prefix, we always drop one L. So here we have an example for this. We have all plus ways. So when we put them together, it's going to be always. Okay. So now let's discuss the second group of words. We have all and the most. Almost. Almost. What do you mean by the word almost? Yes, very good. Yes. What do you mean by the word almost? Very good. Yes, the word almost means nearly or just. I'm almost there. I'm almost doing something, so nearly or is just about. Okay, so and then we have the word all plus the prefix ready. So when we put them together, it will be already. Already. What do you mean by already? So already means so far. Already means so far. Okay, all plus the word ways, so it's going to be always, and always means all the time. All the time. I always do my homework. I always go to school. So I do this all the time. And then we have the word all plus the word though. So when we put them together, it will be although. Although. What do you mean by although? Yes, very good. It means in spite of the fact. So although he's ill or although he's sick, he goes to school. So in spite of the fact of being sick, he goes to school. Okay. And then we have the third group of words here. The third group of words that begin with the prefix add. Okay. And we said that the prefix add means forwards or moving forwards. Okay. So the first one is add and plus the word verb. It's going to be adverb. And of course, all of you know what is the adverb. Yes, you know what is adverb. An adverb is a word that describes the state of the verb or modifies the verb. So a word that modifies a verb. Thank you. And then we have add plus just. When we put them together, it will be adjust. Adjust. What do you mean by the word adjust? When you adjust to something, okay? It means that you are doing something for it to make it look like better. So adjust means to improve something. Adjust, it means to adapt something or to improve it or to repair it. Okay? This is what is meant by the word adjust. And then we have the word advance. 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 So, like advanced level, it means a higher one. Okay? So, advance means move forward or go ahead. Move forward or go ahead. Like the word in advance means before. Okay, and then let's discuss the fourth group of words that begin with the prefix af, and let's read the words and know the meaning of each one. So we have the word affect, af plus affect. So affect, what do you mean by the word affect? Yeah, when the teacher have an effect on you, so the teacher is changing you, so she has an influence at you. Okay, so influence, affect, or have an influence, to affect or to have an influence. The next one is the word affection, and the word affection here has a different meaning. Affection means to love something, to be fond of something. Okay, so affection means loving or liking. So this is affection, to be fond of something. The next one is the word affluent. And what do you mean by the word affluent? Yes, so easy. Very good. It means rich or wealthy. Rich or wealthy. Now, I want you to get ready with your highlighter, and let's highlight the prefix in each group of words. So in the first group of words, the prefix here is a, like a blaze, afloat, asleep, aground. Okay, let's highlight the prefix all in each of these words of the second group. So we have almost, we have already, we have always, we have although. Okay, let's go to the third group of words. We have add, like adverb, adjust, to modify something, and advance, to go higher, to go ahead. Let's highlight the prefix here in the last group of words. We have affect, like to have an influence on something or someone. Affection means to be fond of someone. Affluent. Okay, so these are the key words that I want you to study. Now let's go to the focus exercise, and in the focus exercise letter A, we need to copy and correct spelling of each word in your book. So number one, we have almost with one L and almost. So which one is the one with the correct spelling? Of course, we said before that all as a prefix, when we put it at the very beginning, we need to drop one L. So the rule here is to drop one L. Yes, so the first one is the correct one. Very good. Number two, already and already. Already and already. Which one is the correct one? Yes, we said that when we put the prefix all at the beginning, we drop one L. So it's going to be already. Number three, although or although. Although or although. Yes, we said that we drop one L. So the first one is the correct one. Number four, also or also. Also or also. Yeah, we drop one L. So it's going to be also. Okay, number five, we have almighty. 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 Yeah, it's almighty. What do you mean by the word almighty? When we say we always, when we're talking about Allah, our God, so we use Allah almighty. So Allah has all power. So Allah almighty. Allah almighty. Okay. Number six, we have all together or all together. Yes, we drop one L. So it's all together as we drop one L. Okay. Now, in the focus exercise letter B, write a sentence about the picture below that includes, and the rule here is that this sentence should include at least 3 AL words. 3 AL words. At least 3 AL words. Okay, let's look at the picture and discuss كده. We have group of children. Okay, maybe they are scouting or something, or they are doing an adventure of climbing a mountain. and we have a boy at the top of the mountain and another boy is still climbing the mountain. So I want you to try to think of a sentence, and this sentence should include at least 3 AL words. So what are the AL words that we have here? We have almost, already, although, always, almighty, altogether. So these are the words that we studied here with AL. Okay, so I will give you my sentence, and here is my sentence. Yes, let's start by reading this sentence. Although one of the boys has already reached the top. Here is one of the boys already reached the top. And we have although is the first word with the prefix AL. So although one of the boys has already reached the top of the mountain, and the second is almost after him. So we have almost is the second AL word. So the first one has already reached the top of the mountain. The second is almost after him. The rest of the group are still afraid. So here we have the rest of the group and are still afraid and are staying all together watching them. So they are still afraid and are staying all together watching them. Okay, so please don't forget to begin with the capital letter. Don't forget to put a full stop at the very end. Don't forget to write a sentence that includes at least 3 AL words. At least 3 L words. Now let's move to the next page. I want you now to open page 41. And here in page 41 we are still talking about the 4 different prefixes that are a, all, add, and af. And then we are going to discuss the extra exercise, the second one. And here we have the top tip box. So we have the prefix. The prefixes have meanings. Of course, we know each time we study prefixes, we study the meaning of each one. So we have all, it's another word for all, but we drop one L. Add and af, of course, means towards or tending towards or moving towards. Okay, a means on or in the state of. Okay, as we can see here, all, we have an example for it, which is the word always. The word always. Add and af, we have the word advance, and the word affection, which means to be fond of something, of someone, to love someone. Okay, which means on or in the state of, like aboard. Okay, and here we have another 2 top tips. All right is always 2 words. All right is always 2 words. So the word all right is always 2 words. And here we are going to discuss the extra exercise, letter A. Copy these words and write what you think it means next to each one. Use the prefix to help you. Okay, before doing this, we are going to do the same as we do in the keywords that we discussed before. We are going to read each word, know the meaning of each one, and your homework is to put each one of these words in a meaningful sentence, in a sentence that shows its meaning, okay? And I need you to use powerful words, okay? Okay, so we need to read each word and to know the meaning of it. The first one, number 1, it's with the prefix a, and this is the word admire. So a means on or in. So when you admire someone, you are in love with someone, maybe you are respecting someone. So I admire my teacher, it means that I respect my teacher, I love my teacher. So maybe it means in the state of loving or in the state of respecting. So let's see what do we have here. Yeah, admire means to praise someone, give some good words. This is the meaning of the word praise, or respect, or look up at someone. Okay, now let's go to the next one, almighty. And here we have the prefix all, almighty. And as I told you before, almighty, we always use this word with the word Allah. So we always say Allah Almighty, Allah Almighty. Okay, so it means all power, Allah Almighty. Okay, and the number 3, we have the word affluent, and we discussed this word before, affluent. So affluent person means that he is affluent, so he's rich or he's wealthy. Now let's highlight the prefix af. And here in number 4, asleep. Yeah, like this boy, he's asleep. Okay, so asleep, it means that someone is sleeping. The next one, adjoint. Adjoint, number 5, adjoint. It begins with the prefix ad. And here we have adjoint. It means when you are joining two things together, so it means connecting. Adjoint, okay, connecting. Okay, and we're going later on to discuss another word, which is adjacent. So we have adjoint and the adjacent. They are nearly the same meaning, So adjoint, to join them together, adjacent, to be beside each other. Okay, so we have adjoint, means connecting, adjoint, connecting, all together, and we I think we discussed this word before in the previous sentence that we wrote about the last picture. So all together means completely, totally, utterly, wholly. So when we say about something that is like a whole one, a complete one, a total one, utterly, okay, they are all give the same meaning. So we have all together, completely, totally, utterly, wholly. Okay, let's move to number 7. We have the word afflect. So the prefix here is afflect. So what do you mean by the word afflect? And I want you to try to guess the meaning. Okay, afflect means to cause trouble or to bother someone. Afflect means to cause trouble or to bother someone. Afflect means to cause trouble or to bother someone. And let's go to number 8. It's a ground. Again, the prefix a and the word ground. And I told you that we use a ground with boats and ships. And it means of a ship touching the ground. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is affable. And what do you mean by the word affable? Affable, it's a nice word that means friendly or nice. Affable, it's a nice word that means friendly or nice. So I want you to highlight the prefix af at the beginning. So now we already highlighted the prefix of each one of these 9 words, and we wrote the meaning. And I want to tell you that if you don't have a space for writing the meaning in your book, you can have a sticky note and put it at the side of the book here and write the number of each word and the meaning of it. Okay, so if there is no space for you to write the meaning beside, as I did here, it's easy for you to get ready with your line, the sticky note, as I always tell you. Okay, and write neatly with a good handwriting. Okay, don't forget to write neatly. Okay, so again, I'm going to read the words again and the meaning of each word. So we have admire, to praise, respect, look up at someone. And we most of the time use the word admire with our teachers, our heroes. So we look up at them. Number 2, almighty, and we use the word almighty with Allah Almighty. Affluent, rich or wealthy. Asleep, which is in the state of sleeping. Okay, adjoint, which means to join two things together. So we have add and the word to join. So adjoin means connecting, and we're going to discuss another word which is adjacent. Adjacent. And then we have number 6, we have all together. All together. So when we put them all together, so it means completely, totally, utterly. Number 7, we have afflect. 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 What do you mean by the word afflect? It means to cause trouble or to bother someone. To cause trouble, okay, or to bother someone. So the noise outside is bothering us. Afflect. Cause a lot of afflect. Okay, number 8, aground. 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 And we said that aground, it's of a ship or a boat, and it means touching the ground. Touching the ground. Number 9, affable. Affable, and I like this word, affable, means friendly or nice. Friendly or nice. Okay? But something that is very important to tell you about, when you are using each of these words in a sentence, you have to know what part of a speech is each one. Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? Okay, so it will help you a lot to know the part of a speech of each word before using it in a sentence. Okay? Okay, so now let's go to the second exercise, which is exercise letter B. Copy the keywords. Okay, we're going to copy the keywords and put each one in a sentence, as I told you before, with each of these prefixes, and then use a dictionary to help you list 3 others. So the instructions here is that he wants you to list 3 other words, 3 other words in each group. So he wants you to add from your own dictionary or from your own mind or from your own reading 3 more words in each group. Okay, so what is the first group of add? Add. So we discussed words like advance and adjoin. Okay, so now we need 3 more words. Can you give me 3 more words? Yeah, I gave you one of them when I told you about the word adjacent. And what about advice? Giving someone a piece of advice. Okay, so we can have words like advice, adjacent, and now we still need another word. Okay, here is the 3 words. So we can have advice, adjacent, adverb, and I want you to get another new one, okay, because adverb is not a new word, so I want you to write a new word for add, like to advertisement, for example. Address, it's another word, so we can have the word address, add and address, and we can have the word like advertisement. So here we have the word advice, the word adjacent, and adjacent is like the word adjoin. So adjacent means to be neighbors, to be beside each other, and we use the word adjacent in math when we are talking about 2 sides that are near to each other, so we are calling them adjacent sides. We use this word in math. Okay, let's go to number 2. In number 2 we have all, and we need 3 words with all. We studied a lot of words like almighty, like altogether already. Okay, so now we need 3 more. I want you to think of 3 more words. Okay, so we have also, and it's not a new word, we have used it before. All right, all together. Okay, so now let's go to the third one. A. It's supposed in your book to be add, but we have used add before, so we will cross the D and we are going to make it like a only, the prefix a here. So we need 3 words with the a. I think that we studied before the word access, to enter, to access, to have an access. Okay, the access is the key maybe. So we have words like advocate, okay, to be in the side of something. aspire, to have like aspiration in life, okay, to have like aims in your life, to aspire high in life, and this is very good for everyone to aspire high in life. And then we have the word access. So we have advocate, aspire, access. Advocate, aspire, access. There are three more words for the prefix a. Now let's go to the prefix af, the last one, and here we need to write three more words with the prefix af. Okay, I have here three more words. We have the word afford, afford, to be able to pay for something, afford, to be able to pay money for something. So I can afford buying a new car, so I can pay for a new car. Afterwards, and the word affiliate. Okay, now the extension exercise, this is your turn. So now this is your turn, this is your homework. So here we have the instructions. I want you to write a story, or like a short story, not a big one. So I want you to write like a short story. So here is your part. And as I told you before, I want you to write your story in a piece of paper and to stick the piece of paper at the top of the page here. So write a story, write a short story about a sea adventure, as you can see, using as many a or al or ad or af words. The prefix a, all, add, af words as you can. So use as much words of these words with prefixes as you can. Try to keep your story to about 100 words. So we need a short story with the prefixes, with words that have these prefixes, and that is about 100 words. The picture will help you, and here is the picture to help you talking about sea adventure. Okay, so this is your turn, this is your homework, this is your assignment, this is your own work. I want you to write your own short story about the picture. The story is going to be about adventure, a sea adventure, and I want you to write about 100 words. Okay, and I want you to use as much words as many words with the prefix a and al and ad as you can. And I want you to try to use powerful sentences, write neatly. Don't forget to leave a space at the beginning of each paragraph if you're going to write more than one paragraph. And I want you to use as many as you can of these words I gave you. Today we studied a lot of words in this spelling unit. Thank you very much, and goodbye.